Just waiting for Ash to join. Oh,
Hello.
okay.
How's
Okay,
it?
new look. It looks cool.
I mean, I don't know what looks cool, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Hey, Az,
Yeah,
we're talking about cameras. Your favorite camera brand, Sony.
it's amazing.
Okay, so the Shetty look nice.
Yeah, this is retro Shetty. This is how I used to look for years,
Oh,
up
really? I
until
didn't know that. I didn't know you at
yeah,
that time.
yeah, no, up until I started realize that I could still grow hair. Then I like just kept going at it. What's up,
So,
everyone?
yeah, yeah. What's up?
Yeah,
15 people here. Hey, Himanshu. Um, hey guys.
yeah,
Hi,
how's
Maria.
it going?
I'm a B. Okay, so what are we talking about today? I think Ashit, do you want to talk about Sony or should I talk about Sony?
I think you should talk about Sony because I'm like a traitor. I've crossed over.
You're a traitor. I mean, all of us, both of us are traitors, but currently I'm with Sony, so maybe I should talk about it. What about the Black
Yeah.
Magic? What are your views on that?
Oh man,
What do you think of
that
that?
was but. Blackmagic as a company is, I think they're doing a lot of things right. And I mean, when they came out with 12K and
Yeah,
with like 14 stops and all of that, they're taking a dig straight at these guys at
yeah,
Red. And I mean, it's not even they don't even care about the DSLR market. They're going straight at Red,
correct.
right? Because that's the only
Yeah,
competition
yeah,
they
yeah.
have, and they're the
True.
only I think cinema camera that has other than okay, but Sony and Canon have autofocus, but I think Blackmagic is one of the people that have like set it up. But for 12, I think 10,000 US, a 12K
Yeah,
camera that is probably good for the next 7, 8 years.
yeah,
That
easy.
that is something that they did really right, because with everybody
True.
else, it's honestly a Canon is great, but their 8K RAW cannot be used right now.
True.
It's not even thing. But what Blackmagic did was they came out with the camera and they came out with the software. So I was just checking. I was looking at a review stream, and basically it was running three separate 12K streams on a laptop on thing.
Okay.
So
Wow. Wow.
that's how see that's how you make a camera system versus just making something that can output a certain amount without having the software to
Correct.
handle it does not make sense. But
True.
I mean, just imagine what they did. This basically said this is a camera, and hey, this is a software to support your camera. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it is a well thought of thing, and it wasn't even like
Yeah.
there were no rumors about it. There was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They were sure, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to offer lower, what do you say, resolutions at the full resolution of the sensor. Again, this is Super 35. It's not full frame, but
Exactly. I was just
still,
going to talk about that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
But
So yeah, a lot of people. Yeah.
most cameras except for the RE-LF, and I think the Venice
Yeah.
and the Sony full frames, I don't think. I mean, they've been Super 35 for years now, like it's
Yeah.
for decades. I don't think they've had too many full frame. What do you say? Cinema cameras. So I don't think it
True.
should change too much because they have a lot of lenses as well, na? With
True.
the PL lenses and all that.
Yeah. Very true.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a lot of people are still asking what do we think about the US R5. I still feel like we still need to like test it out to talk about it. But for
I'm
now,
honestly, I've
yeah,
called Kashish. I've asked him
yeah, yeah,
how to get the camera. I've asked him, like
yeah,
this is my thing, right? I check and
yeah,
I try and figure it out. And I called him and said,
yeah.
hey, he like you need to pre-book the camera thing. But then I was like, but I'm not going to go and buy the camera outright without
Without
testing it.
trying it.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
it's, I mean, regardless of, I mean, the whole idea of the marketing is try and get you to get the
Correct,
camera. And
correct.
I'm not a person that's very keen on getting the first camera in the country. I'm like, that's not my deal. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's more of getting something that kind of makes sense to work with. But
True. Very true.
I saw a video, I think a DP review had done one of
Hmm.
the R6, which
Correct.
was the R6 was a production camera. They're shooting stills and all that, but it was recorded on an R5, and I know the location also, like in Canada and South Africa, the light is very different, so it looks really
Correct.
nice. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed there were some places that they shot that were high contrast places. So the sun backlit and there were shadows and all that, and it didn't look bad. So
Correct.
I don't know how many stops they're claiming to have, but even if it has
Hmm.
around
Hmm. Hmm.
13, 14 stops, I think it should be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's shooting raw, is that the raw you're talking about, or is it
Raw
just talking the
video.
C-log?
I,
Yeah.
I'd imagine they shoot it on C-Log. I don't because I don't think the RAW has a software
No,
yet,
so
right?
no, no, no. So I saw a few like Peter McKinnon and a couple of other bloggers have put out raw footage which they have converted,
Oh
and
wow.
that
Okay.
looks really good. That looks really, really good. Much better than the C-Log. So that's something exciting.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's there are like the idea of the camera is really great. Like again, I'm going to say that again. It's what they're doing with it is great. Even if they offer a 4K cropped RAW,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
still makes it a very viable camera. Like I understand
true,
the pixel binning that you need to do for an 8K RAW to 4K is a lot of work on the camera. Say, okay, fine,
true.
we'll give you a crop 6K, a crop 4K, and that will
Correct.
be like because I don't know if have you heard of the Minity? The so you've heard of the Trinity, right? The RE Trinity.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the RE Trinity, so people who don't know watching it are basically it's a gimbal stabilizer that RE came out with a few years ago that optimizes it to a level where it's way beyond the gimbal and it's like better than a Steadicam. And
And it's
there's something
huge
called
and it's expensive.
it's very expensive. It's about 55,000 US plus the camera. This is without the camera.
for
It's just the
for
gimbal
a stabilizer.
for
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
stabilizer. And so there's this thing. There's a guy called
Hmm.
Josh from Momentum Productions, and he basically tried, the handheld stabilizers. He put a gimbal on top of that, like
Yeah,
a Weeble S,
correct,
and he started showing the footage, and the footage was brilliant. And they basically,
correct.
so it is called the DIY RE Trinity, and then it got
I saw that. I watched that.
the name, yeah, the name, so it got an official name called the Minity. There's a Mini Trinity.
Correct.
And I feel for like setups like that, the R5 is going to be really great. Because I,
True.
I actually am building my own Minity right now. I just ordered the parts today.
Okay,
So I
nice.
this Flycam, yeah, Flycam in
Yeah, yeah,
India.
yeah, yeah.
So I got like a vest from them, and I got
Got it.
the carbon fiber. Well, I initially got the carbon fiber stabilizer, but you can't hold that, man. Like with the camera and all that, it's really heavy. Like you
True,
can't hold it in your hand and shoot for a long
true,
time.
true.
But
The
so I
vest is a
ordered
good
it,
idea. I think, yeah, that's a good idea.
and it's not expensive. So like if you look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
like when I was looking at these things, that are super expensive in like everywhere else. You end up paying about $1,000 plus. In India, if you buy the vest, which is up to about 6 kgs of a camera,
Correct.
and thing, the vest is about 14K Indian rupees,
Got it. That's
and
that's a steal.
yeah, and the stabilizer is another maybe 7 or 8 depending on which one you take. So I
Correct.
mean, it's just for that. So when you're looking at the West, that as stabilizer with an R5, you're getting an entire video making kit that changes the entire dynamics of how movies are shot, and
Correct.
that's where that raw will be like, okay, shit. Like everybody's gonna be like, okay, this makes sense now. So like
Correct.
I don't know the movie 1917, is that it? The one that Deacon
Yeah, yeah.
was a
Like a
DOP
one.
for?
It was
Yeah.
shot like a one take film. Yeah.
Yeah, so he shot most of that film on the RE Trinity, and
Correct.
that so his thing was that's how stable it is, and that's how it's gonna change. So basically, when you suit up on all of these things right now, you're not setting down tracks, you're not
Correct.
looking at a single thing. It's
Correct.
becoming very dynamic right now, and again, like we talked about how cameras are getting better with the dynamic range, it changes the lighting scenario. Imagine just
Correct.
having something that you paid like about 6 or 7 lakhs for in total, including the camera, and maybe like a 35 or 1.8 lens, like an autofocus give you thing. It's superb. It's a
True.
superb.
True.
It's a superb deal. But that 8K by itself, I don't know how many people are going to like use it.
I mean, it's for someone like me, it's unusable. You need to have the memory for it. You need to have a computer for it. So for someone like me, it's pretty much unusable. I wouldn't be even if I pick up the camera. 4K 120 and 8K is straight out of the it's not
See,
something
with
I
the
can
memory
use.
also, I can still, okay, so like even if you have the memory, right, you have
Yeah,
a 512 card, right?
yeah,
To dump
yeah,
it on, for using like a C back, dumping it on a hard disk will take
yeah.
you about, what, 20-25 minutes? So basically,
Maybe lesser. The CFast cards are really
oh,
fast
CFast, yeah,
with a
yeah,
yeah.
but again, they'll be limited by like USB-C. Because
Correct,
it has only an X amount, right? So
correct, true.
even if you're shooting on one and writing with the other, it's still possible to a large extent. I feel like the memory is not the biggest problem they have. It's where you're going to use it is the biggest problem that they have. Which
Correct,
computer can handle it? Because even if
exactly.
you're looking at like a 4K HEVC, you can't
Correct,
use it, man. Like I can't use my Fuji uh, what's it H265 files on my
correct,
laptop without it stuttering. So it's
true.
that I feel like that's a bigger problem, right? And like what these guys did as well, Blackmagic, they put out a module that goes at the back of the V mount that accepts SD cards.
Okay,
Sorry, not
interesting.
SD cards, SSD
Oh,
drives.
SSDs, yeah.
So I mean
That's the way to go.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the part that makes more sense. I understand
yeah,
Canon's whole thing about it being proprietary. I understand that part, where they're trying to keep everything within the system, but
correct.
it doesn't make it easier. And it's as a company that has so many products, they have like everything from the top of the line Venice to I'm sorry, not the Venice, the full frame C something 700 or something like that to
Yeah.
like the C500 Mark II to thing. It's 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 very difficult for them to put out a camera that doesn't kind of kill the other cameras,
True,
and so
true,
they kind of like think it with the cost and thing, right? But
true.
I feel that you need to get out of that mentality and say, okay, you know what, we're trying to create the best camera we can for the
Yeah,
job
yeah.
versus try to hold it back in some way or the other.
True that. What about
Yeah.
Sony? Since
Oh
we're
man,
supposed to talk about Sony,
the rumors
what
have
about
come in
Sony?
for the three, you know, the
A7,
S3.
S3. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think we're going to be kind of like right with our predictions as well of what it's going to be.
yeah,
With
yeah.
I think they're looking at more of a 12 so like a 4K camera that
Correct.
outputs 4K 120 raw. And
Okay, okay. That's
yeah, I
interesting.
mean that's in the rumor mill at least. And
Hmm.
they said that it's a 12 megapixel sensor that has a faster readout, which
Okay.
means
No
one of
rolling
two
shutter.
things.
Does that mean? Okay.
Yeah, I think they're going for global shutter.
Okay.
So I
Interesting.
mean, because if you look at the A9, it's practically a global shutter with each scene
Correct.
that they shoot, right? It's
Correct.
practically a global shutter. So I mean, they I think they get closer to the non. Uh, if they crack the global shutter scene, I think it'll be a
Hmm.
bigger deal for most filmmakers than the rolling shutter. I mean,
And that
than the higher thing.
explains the 4 or 5 year long delay since the
Hmm.
Mark II. That explains it. Maybe, they were really waiting to come out with something that, I don't know, put everything else to
I
sleep.
think also the Mark II. I mean, the A7 III put filled in a lot of places that the Mark could, I mean, that the other cameras couldn't handle. So basically, your
True.
lower end shooters were using the A7
Correct.
III. So, but I feel
Correct.
like this is going to put it into place again. If they crack the color science, I think is a bigger deal right now. If they can put out
Hmm.
the Cinetone on this, it's I think
Hmm.
with global shutter, I think it's a lot more viable of a camera for video for filmmakers. For hybrid
Correct.
shooters, I see Sony, sorry, the Canon R5 being a slightly better camera
True.
because
True.
you're looking at the balance of I shoot a lot of stills for commercial work
Correct.
and I can shoot video
Yeah, for sure.
versus having a
And that's
camera
the
that kind of just
advantage.
yeah as a video
That's the advantage of
yeah
having one camera that does it all. Yeah, for sure.
yeah it's just it's interesting because I think everybody was kind of expecting them to go head to head with this
Hmm.
entire deal,
Yeah.
right? So like if Canon put this out, then Sony's got to put this out. But
But their
I
strategy is
but
different. It's been different. Yeah.
yeah, I was actually thinking that maybe if I don't know if you know this technology that Phase One had put out a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was on their sensors, if it was a 100 megapixel sensor, you could shoot, I think, something plus format, which was basically 25 megapixels. So it's one fourth,
Okay.
but
Okay.
you could boost the ISO higher
Okay.
and you
Interesting.
get like a better raw file. And this is
Interesting.
something that, yeah, and it was in stills. I don't know if they had like, no, they don't know video at all. Yeah, stills.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was
Interesting.
maybe, yeah, like I'd say about 7, 8 years ago. So when I'm looking at all of these things, I'm thinking that's a very realistic thing that we can put into cameras right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like that's
True.
what I thought Sony's going to do. I thought they're going to have a full frame 45 megapixel camera, and that
Correct.
basically pixel bins and gives you like a phenomenal 4K, which is still,
Interesting.
I think, doable. Like, I think whoever cracks that bit will be taking the larger part of the market in the next couple of years. I mean, definitely
True.
the Canon is a great camera for the next 5, 6, 7 years, because I don't see, honestly, like where you're going to improve on for the next 7 years,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because their autofocus is, I think, it's almost instant right now.
True.
So I don't know what cameras they're going to make for the next couple of years.
So for someone like me, I mean, the dilemma is a lot of people have been asking me. So I've got the R4 for people who don't know, the A7 R4, and a lot of people have been asking me. Okay, I was waiting. I was going to pick up the R4, but then I decided to wait for the R5, and now I'm leaning more towards the R5. So, what are your thoughts in terms of like if you had the R5? They both cost approximately same amount of money, not the same. I think the
Hmm.
R5 is a little more maybe. But what would you choose? Thinking about the overall system, the
If I
memory it
had nothing,
uses. Yeah,
and then I was going into it,
yeah.
see, again, this is when it's coming to I need to see the spec sheet, not the spec sheet, but a test of the dynamic range on the R5. Because
R5.
everything
That's
else
where.
looks great, and that's the part that's getting me, right?
Correct.
Why haven't they mentioned that?
Oh, they haven't mentioned the dynamic range at
They
all.
haven't mentioned the dynamic range on the R5.
That's okay. That's weird. Okay.
That's like a very like a Canon thing to do. Like they called out the overheating and all of that. It's just I don't know what it is. So I don't know if they're kind of saying that it may not be good, or don't know if they're saying that hey, it's phenomenal. Because from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
videos I
yeah,
saw, it was really good.
yeah. But that's also difficult
So
to judge. Yeah, that's really difficult to judge on like without shooting something yourself or without having like a proper um,
I'm always looking at shadows.
spreadsheet.
I think that's the best
Hmm,
way
hmm,
to notice anything. Like if you want to look at
hmm.
how something is lit, you should look at the shadows. If you want to see how
Correct.
what the dynamics range is, look at the shadows. I think interesting shadows make a picture actually interesting. So
True.
versus overlighting a, a campaign or something, I feel like the larger story lies in the shadows than the lighted part. I mean the key
Interesting.
light part. So it's for me, from what I saw, that shot especially, like at DP review, I was like, wow, this is really nice because of how he was with the back against the light, and you could still see the
Oh,
sky was
really? Okay.
blue. So
Okay.
it was one of those shots that I was looking at, like I'm like this looks interesting. Like again, if it's about like 14 stops, it's a great camera because again, like
Interesting.
for like usages like the Minity, right? Like where you just have a vest thing and you can do this. You can do some crazy shots. As a crash camera, it's
True.
brilliant.
True.
And I feel like a lot of people are gonna end up shooting in that format after. Like I feel like the big cinema cameras will be phased out after a while of having smaller cameras that can kind of do
Hmm.
the same thing,
Hmm.
if not better. Like if they get up to 80% or 80-90% of what a film camera, like an RE can do, I think RE might end up losing market share for their cameras, not their
Hmm.
lenses.
Hmm.
Their
Hmm.
lenses
Hmm.
their lenses always be like superb. But again, it's like if you have a like camera company like Canon that makes good cinema lenses with autofocus, it's just you're taking away so many people from that problem. Like, when you're using
Hmm.
an RE with a Trinity and all of that, you need to have a really experienced
Focus puller.
operator, yeah, focus puller, and a support team to basically switch out lenses and stuff like that. But if you're
Correct.
looking and production getting smaller and smaller, tighter and tighter, more efficient,
True.
especially at this
True.
time,
True.
especially
Very
at this
true.
time.
Yeah.
So it's I think the less people that you can get on a job and create it more efficient, which also means that more people will do work, right? So like, let's just say if you need a big team to do something, it adds up the
Yeah.
money. So
Yeah.
you need X amount of lakhs to do the same thing. Now, if you're saying that to shoot with an RE, it'll cost just the camera and whatever it'll cost 2 lakhs versus shooting 20% less and it'll cost you about one lakh, for
Yeah.
instance.
Not
Okay,
even a
I'm
lot.
not
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. It's definitely lower, but I'm saying 1 lakh.
Yeah.
As the client, and we know how these
Correct.
clients are, right? So they
Correct.
basically say, hey, you know what? I'm okay with paying a lakh less. My output is on digital, where
Correct.
they're not going to sit and pixel peep, mostly. I mean, it's just, I feel like that entire segment of the larger cameras are going to be exclusively be used only for high-end film work, which will also kind of, I think, eventually change. It's like how
Hmm.
I feel at some point there are going to be commercial campaigns shot on the phone in a couple of years. So it's just
Hmm. Hmm.
what the commercial film
But
space is going to be done is
but
going to be done thing
but
also.
what about workflow? I know a lot of people who I'm not just talking about the old school guys who have been shooting on ARRI for the last 20 years, but we're talking about the editors, the color graders, I mean, even if you talk about the R5 and you talk about shooting 8K on that,
Hmm.
you can't shoot for more than like half an hour, 30 minutes of 8K, or 1 hour.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you're really talking about proper schedules and you're talking about an ad shoot which goes on for 12 hours a day, that's still a big limitation. So I don't see people moving out of like the big cinema cameras and going to DSLRs unless you're shooting smaller stuff like music videos, you're shooting smaller stuff like where the budget is really constrained. Only then will people go to like a smaller system. I feel. I don't know.
See,
That's what I saw with the 5D Mark II.
in terms of cost again, right?
Hmm.
If you're saying again, we kept that limited one lakh, right? So I'm
Yeah,
saying it's not even going to be that expensive to get
yeah,
another body of an R5 over the body that you already have. So it's just basically you'll
yeah.
have to get the lens and the bodies. If you get you can get one spare body, you can get two spare bodies,
Correct.
and that's not going to cost you too much extra. Like if you're looking at the
True.
camera costs 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs coming in, even
Correct.
if a rental house is charging 1.5% rental, that's still
Yeah.
what 4.4 and a half thousand per
Correct.
rental. So for another 10K, you'll get two extra bodies. And most ad work, that's kind of I don't think you're shooting clips longer than 2-3 minutes because you're shooting so many different frames,
Fair
right?
enough.
Even,
Yeah.
even if you
Fair
have a
enough.
dialogue happening, it's just I mean, which ad film goes for longer than that? Even if you're
Fair
looking
enough.
at a digital film, I don't think any dialogue goes on for past than over 5 minutes unless you're doing an interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interviews, I understand
Yeah.
that you probably go for like a
8K. Yeah.
yeah
8K interviews. That's
yeah.
overkill anyway.
So
Yeah.
I mean, again, people are making a huge fuss about I feel about the overheating,
Hmm.
which
Hmm. Hmm.
even if it does 10 minutes at full 8K resolution at the hottest
Hmm.
point it can, it'll be a camera that'll be used. You'll figure out
Hmm.
a way how you can hot swap the camera out, put another
Hmm.
one in immediately, or have two cameras where you're setting like your forward setting for all of your things.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
it's a very I honestly feel like somebody's going to come up with like a cage that has two fans attached to it that plugs into thing. And that's what will happen.
Hmm.
Because they've
Hmm.
called
Hmm.
it out on this, I'm telling you, Small Rig and Tilta are already designing something that will come
Hmm.
out of the fan that will cool it down.
Small Dig put out a meme and put out a fake like a joke about the R5 cage. Did you see that?
No.
It's called the ice cage, and it's made out of ice and it pulls down the camera.
See, I'm telling you, they're joking about it, but the responses they're going to get, they're going to be like, hey, I think it's going to be like a really, they're going to come up with support software, support systems for it. But it's just the biggest part that I feel is still a strain is the 8K stream, which if they can literally cut it down to 4K, if they can do a
Yeah.
full frame, great. If they can do a cropped, nothing like it. I think
Hmm.
that will
Hmm.
kind of put the nail in because Sony I don't think has a chance with catching up with that if they don't they don't up their color science game. Because whatever you do at the end of it is like if everybody wants a good image coming out of camera.
True. True.
If you're shooting at f-log also or c-log, it's like there's so many c-log LUTs out there right now that make it easier to use like a Canon versus a Sony, right? But I mean, yes, there are lots of Sony LUTs as well, but it's always so much a little bit more trouble working with the Sony camera in terms of colors. Everything else is superb. It's just those colors, like, it's just for me. I don't know about you, but like,
No, I agree. I feel like Fuji really spoiled me. Fuji was a good like a good system in terms of just getting everything straight out of camera, and Canon was kind of there, but Fuji really spoiled me. So, but okay, but again, coming back to the whole Sony versus Canon, because I feel like those guys, like, if we're talking about full frame right now, and you're talking about like high-end cameras, they're the only two competitors.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the R4 versus R5, Sony versus Canon, for me personally, I feel, so I did contemplate, and I may even get the R5, may try it out. But I'm thinking about a couple of things. I personally don't shoot a lot of video professionally. What do I shoot? I just want something to be quick, easy to use, and yeah, I would love better colors and maybe slightly better autofocus if it offers that. But otherwise, I don't know. I feel like the jump between the 45 megapixels in the R5 and the 61 in this, and also this 24-105. For people who don't know, this is the only lens that I own. So I literally don't take the lens off the camera. And I did test the Canon 24-105, the USR, and I wasn't impressed at all. I really wasn't impressed. So that was that was 30 megapixels. The R5 is 45 megapixels. I owned the USR for almost a year, so I had enough experience with that, and I wasn't impressed with the USR files in terms of dynamic range, sharpness, and some of the more technical stuff. Yeah, of course the colors look great, skin tones look great, but if you really want to go in deep and do a lot of work on them, there's just not those kind of files. So,
but I mean, okay. So how does the camera work with like a filter, like an adapter, like the older lenses?
it works great. Works even better than a DSLR. Yeah.
Because that's what kind of like at least with the Canon thing, right?
Yeah.
You can get a inbuilt what's that?
ND
a neutral
filter.
density and ND filter with thing. So that immediately there are a lot of different things. There are a lot of lenses out there right now with Canon that makes it super cheap. So if you buy a body, you can get a used lens, like a really good 35mm 1.4 for 30-40K. And if you look a little harder, even 50-60K. And these lenses cost about a lakh something if you buy it brand new.
Correct.
But getting a good used one, about 50K, it'll cost you. And then you get or you get a filter and you get like a base lens, and then you can always rent the thing, right?
True.
So these things, it may not seem like a very big deal, but for somebody who's building a kit, having an ND filter that you don't have to screw in front of your lens, it's just,
man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because for my Fuji, it took me so long to get a good ND filter. Like I even got the Tiffin ones, and I don't know what it was because of the humidity in Bombay. Between the two lenses, there was like and I couldn't figure it out. And then I got spots on the first one. I sent it back. I was hoping that it was a defective piece. The next one came, the same issues. And like, and
what
we're
are you
talking like,
saying?
and Tiffin is not not a small company, right? And I actually got one from I think some Chinese company that has licensed the Kodak name, and they make filters now, and that was I think for 3 or 4K was better than the Tiffin. That
What
was
are
like
you saying?
10 plus K. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I
use
the Tiffins. I have the Tiffins, and I'm happy with the quality, but that's shocking to hear. Yeah.
I get ghosting when I'm shooting on thing. Like with any light at the back, it starts to ghost. And I was like, I tried, like I pulled it off. I was like, shit, is this just me or what am I seeing? I'm like, your filter shouldn't be taking any quality away from what you're doing. So, like I was saying, with something like that, you're looking at the camera like a Canon R5, you get the ND filter, which is not going to ghost. You can go and get like a Tiffin Pro Mist 1/8 that basically takes off that digital edge. So basically,
Correct.
a lot of people's problem with the thing right now is that fact that it looks so clear and it takes off the
Sharp
film,
and yeah.
yeah, very sharp, right? So this kind of gives you that whole film
I've been
look.
really tempted to buy one of those, but they're really overpriced on Amazon, man. They are overpriced.
No, they're
18K
not.
for the 1/4.
Yeah, but
Again,
that's what I'm
it
saying.
depends on
Like,
the size of
yeah,
the diameter. Yeah, yeah.
again, so like you can get one lens with one body with the ND filter in, and you can like kind of figure
Correct.
it out how you want to use it. You can even get like a Mac box and then use it, but that changes
True.
the way that you use the camera. So like these cameras are like very important in the next couple of years because they're going to define how you use the cameras, and they're going to define
True.
smaller teams. They're going to define smaller workflows. They're going to define uh, a lot more creative artists doing some really great work. Like if with the 8K, what do you say, the 12K camera from Blackmagic, if you can get like a student who can grade it on like a
Hmm.
small laptop, right?
Hmm.
The more he uses it, the better he gets. And you know,
For sure.
as students, as students, you're a little bit more driven to kind of push yourself
Yeah.
harder and do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that kid who starts grading with with this thing that's coming in today. In the next 3 years, he's going to be really good at what he does,
True.
and that changes. So you don't need the entire workflow of like you don't need to go to a studio out of Bandra where you need to go sit down there
Hmm.
with the grader and say, hey, you know what this is. Now, I've seen a lot of work
Yeah.
that happens over the net right now. A lot of grading that happens
Correct.
over the net, where it's just that entire thing is changing. So it's just I feel like it's all becoming more fluid. And
Hmm. Hmm.
that's why the Sony A7 III also is a very important camera for Sony. A7S III, sorry, is a very important
Correct.
camera for Sony because Canon has put its foot down and said, hey, this is the direction that we're going to go with. Sony, once they put that camera out, is going to also kind of define it a little bit more, and it's going to
Right.
change everything. Because you know what happened with the 5D or Mark II when it came
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People stopped using the bigger cameras for smaller jobs. Like I've been
True.
on jobs with celebrities where they've shot on the Canon 5D.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that. So this is just kind of cementing it a little bit more and kind of it's changing the whole dynamics of how it is right now. It really is.
Yeah, that's interesting. So talking about the 5D Mark II, I think I was one of the first people to get the 5D Mark II in India,
Hmm.
and I happened to win it in a competition. I didn't buy the camera.
Ooh. Wow.
So yeah, so I remember getting calls, and this was 1 year into me getting into photography. I had no idea what I was doing, and it was a street photography competition that basically made me win the camera. But for the next 6 months after me getting the camera, I had like famous directors, DOPs call me and say, "Hey, can I come check out the camera? Hey, I heard you got the 5D Mark II." I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And at the same time, I was really protective about the camera because I was like, I don't want to get it scratched, but I was like, why not let these guys like have a hands-on with it? And it was a funny experience. So I know what
Wow.
you mean. People are itching to like try something smaller.
You know, and like there's this. I think there's a Mintra film that one of the DOPs went and shot by himself, and he shot it on a A6600, and it was just him. And I think it was
Wow.
also, yeah, it's just him who went and shot it with Hrithik Roshan. So we're not talking like a small time
Yeah, digital.
film as well, right? Yeah. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. With the teams getting smaller, and the smaller the team, I think the better the work. At least because it takes less time for you to pack up and move. With all
True.
these LED lights also coming up right now, like with Aperture 600D, I think they're coming out with a new thing called 600D.
Okay.
That you can shoot like with I think 2 V-mount batteries versus an RE M18 with
Hmm.
like a huge light stand, 2 people, a generator, and all of that.
Right. Right.
So it's if every single aspect of it becomes as fluid, you're not
True.
going to go to stuff that's heavy to move around. Like
Very true.
why are so many people shooting on the Profoto B1?
B10, B1, sorry.
Yeah. Why are they shooting with it? Because it's so much more convenient. The people are shooting with it in the studio as well. because
True.
it's that one kit that kind of does everything. Why did the Godox become so popular? Because it
Yeah,
just makes sense. It makes sense on a, a commercial shoot to just kind of use it. Because it makes life easier, man. And
for
the
sure.
more the easier the life becomes for creators, the more they create, the better the product becomes. And if you're getting great visuals from a camera, if you're getting great visuals, forget what the camera is. People don't care,
True.
because at the end of the day, it's what gets you the most dynamic videos and pictures, right? And that
For
mostly
sure.
happens with cameras that are lighter, that are more flexible, that have better focus, that have higher ISOs. So I mean, it's just, I think it's going to be, it's going to be super interesting for the next, like, at least 2 years, at least.
True. True. And I think both of us have seen that kind of change. Go from those really big lights and cameras, and starting off like I started off with like a 6 megapixel crop sensor. So
Hmm.
going from that to like a 100 megapixel medium format, which is still achievable. I mean, which is still affordable. It's crazy. Like 10 years has we've seen a big jump. So I can't
Yeah, I
even
mean,
imagine what
even
the
the
next
medium
10 years.
format, like when you
Yeah,
first
yeah,
got it, okay,
yeah.
when you go straight from a Sony to that, it's a little difficult, because
True.
it's the GFX 100 is as close to a DSLR as the medium format has ever gotten in
Correct.
terms of how it is to use. But
Correct.
it's it still has, it's kind of like, it holds you back. Like the laptops don't work as
Sure.
well and stuff like that. So
Sure.
it's
Sure.
still not as popular as it could be because of one or two things here. But again, like if the GFX had a 50 megapixel mode, a lot more people would be using it, knowing that they have the 100 megapixel aspect. Like that's
Correct.
what I'm saying. The Canon also is a really important camera. If they can give out a 4K, people will use it, knowing that they have the option
Hmm.
of an
Hmm.
8. Imagine having a
Hmm.
camera where you can just switch between 4 and 8.
True. True.
You don't have, like, it's just it. You don't have to go buy another thing, and like a lot more people will invest in the camera instead of renting it.
True. Personally about the Sony, about the Canon, while I was doing the research, I was just doing the math and I was like, so the R6 is way cheaper than the R5. It's a good lakh cheaper, I think, than the R5.
Yeah, lakh
And
20, I think.
lakh 20. And I was like, what? I mean, the whole 20 megapixel thing is unusable for anyone shooting commercial work. Yeah, if you're looking at a completely sports driven camera, fair enough. But if they had like a sweet spot like 30 with the features of the R6, that's amazing, man. 4K full frame. That's all someone wants. People don't care about the 4K 120, 8K and all that. They just want a normal 4K 24 full frame. And Canon's still not giving us that. I mean, they're now giving it to us, but with a very expensive price. So something around the 2 lakh bracket, because there's nothing. You understand? There's nothing that's giving you. That's a good hybrid camera. It's still.
You know, I really feel that Sony is going to win this round of this entire thing by pricing their camera as well.
Yeah.
If they come out
Yeah.
with a camera that basically costs about even 2 lakh 30, I'd say 2 lakh 30.
Um, I'm not sure. Huh? So the A7 R4 when I picked it up was 260. So
Yeah,
I don't see them. I don't see them getting it cheaper than that, man. I don't see it. No, sorry. Yeah, 260. Yeah, 260 for the body. I don't see them like making it like cheaper than that. It's going to be at least 3 lakhs. It's going to be the same as R5.
hmm. I don't know. I think the pricing is a very key, like big part of what they do right now, because it's two very different cameras. It's
Sure.
two very different cameras doing, I mean, doing kind of the same thing. But like I don't see the Sony being a feasible camera for me, because I'll have to get another camera to do stills.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's my
most
biggest irritation right now.
people, even people who are kind of even thinking about this thing. My first question is, are you shooting an equal amount or more photos? Then don't think about the S3 or the R6. Just go directly for the R5, because I mean that makes sense. It's a perfect hybrid.
Hmm.
Till now, till the before the R5, the perfect hybrid was the R4, the A7 R4, the
Hmm.
Sony,
Yeah.
because I'm talking about something which is reasonable, not like the GFX 100, because that is amazing. That's like the perfect hybrid.
But
But
I don't know, man. I've been looking at the videos from the GFX 100. It's not very. I don't see any impressive videos come out yet.
with the new
I,
this thing with the
yeah,
raw and all
I
that.
haven't seen any like impressive
Yeah.
videos, like properly graded videos. I don't know if they put it into the hands of artists that don't do a full time thing. But I remember some video from the H265 videos that look good. But
Yeah.
I don't know how those raw videos look.
Hmm.
I mean, because the stuff that I saw is very like
But
it's
that's
not.
the
It's
way
not
to do it, you know. Even with the Fuji, I mean, like, I know that they probably have the capacity of having the raw footage into the camera, but just allowing it to go into an SSD through the Atmos, that's what all cameras should do. I think just have one universal recorder, and which you can rent from
hmm.
most rental houses. And when you need to shoot raw, you just rent it, shoot with it, and that's amazing.
I think that's kind of where it's going, man. Like I really feel like that's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be the mandate for most companies, and that's kind of
yeah.
what Atomos wants as well, right? They're hoping that
Hmm.
everybody buys an Atomos and keeps it at home. But that's
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
still a cheaper option. Like
For
spending
sure, for
50,
sure.
60K is just like it's a cheaper option.
So yeah,
A7
yeah.
R4
Abhishek,
images will be
AG
sharper.
dot shoot Abhishek.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know, man.
I mean, firstly, I mean it's 45 versus 60 megapixels, but Sony files are in general sharper than Canon files. Um, so yeah, in terms of sharpness, again sharpness, I wouldn't go after sharpness. That's not the most important thing. But again, Abhishek, I spoke to you and I told you that you're coming from a 5D3 or 5D4, so I would say don't even think about Sony. Just transition directly into Canon, the R5. You're going to be happy. Don't switch systems. You're going to be really happy.
Either of
Yeah, I
you
think
have.
Mamiya, which one? Which
I
Mamiya, Siddhanshu?
I've used the 645.
I've
That
not
was
used Mamiya.
that was a really long time ago. Not the RB67 or that. This was like an AFD2. So that was a long time ago. But yeah, I have. It's another medium format, man. We were with
Yeah.
at least with the new Mamiyas, you get the leaf shutter lenses from Schneider, but
Hmm.
it's a medium format. It's a slow system. It it it's an it's old technology. If you really look at everything right now, I'm really interested in seeing how these guys. Canon always had an issue with doing HSS. Like it always, I don't know why, but always the
Yeah.
HSS pictures look a little bit weird. At least in
Really?
high,
Okay.
like the jumping and all of that. Because I don't know if you remember, Tarun also was discussing this, and he, like for the jumping shots, he goes to medium format.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know how it's going to look. So it's again these are the tests that matter. Because if it sucks at uh, 1 in 2000 or 1 in 3000 at a high speed sync, I can't use that camera again
True.
for me. And like it's just no sports photographer who's doing anything with strobes can use it. So
Makes
it's just
sense.
like why would you buy it then?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So one more thing I want to mention is that I saw someone from Fuji, the Fuji India team, put up
Hmm.
a post on Facebook or something saying that Fuji India is now offering demos at home for photographers and videographers, which is amazing.
I think they heard
So
us.
very possible, but hats off to Fuji India. That's amazing because I know so many people, and I know we are lucky because we know the right people at these companies, so we can just make a call and get a demo piece. But for a lot of people, it's tough to who don't have the contacts. It's tough to get a demo piece. It's tough to borrow. It's tough to rent. So this is amazing. I mean, if all companies did that, I would see sales go up way more than what they are right now because people are just like confused about what to pick up.
No, 100%, man. It's just like I like especially right now if they're doing a home demo, it's great. I mean, I also see this being misused by random people where they just kind of call it and they don't do it, which I'm assuming the camera companies will get a little bit tired. I mean, the mentality also like
Sure,
just because it's free, let's do it, right?
sure.
But I think like the testing of cameras is really important, and I'm glad that they're
For
doing something
sure.
like this because even
Yeah.
like even if they said, hey, you know what, we have a store, we have not even a store, we have a camera in Bandra at this
Hmm.
location. call
Yeah.
them, book it, go use it.
Correct.
Like, don't even offer to let them take it home. Like, I
Yeah.
get the risk factor of giving somebody a camera that you don't know, that they
No,
don't
so
ever.
no, it's not a no. It's basically like a demo with a technician for a
Hmm.
couple of hours, and that's about it.
So
So
that's
you
a
get all
great
your.
idea.
It's a
It's a
great
great
idea.
idea.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I really feel
So,
that they were listening to us now. Like, it's just like, I think
possibly.
this is what we've been talking about for the past,
Yeah.
I think, 3 or 4 episodes, where we were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this changes everything, right? This getting the cameras into people's hands, and as a buyer, you just feel a little bit more important when a camera company offers you a camera test out.
For
As a
sure. For
photographer,
sure.
like, and getting any of that attention, you'll be like, hey, you know what? These guys treated me well, and I'll go with them. And this
True.
happened actually with somebody else that I know who's a model who approached uh, a few different of the top companies in, I mean, the agencies in India, and
Okay.
she went with the agency that treated her the best.
That makes sense.
And
That makes
she's
sense.
now among the top models in India. I don't disclose names of things, but
Sure.
uh, she went with the agency that treated her the best. That treated her as a person versus just like you're a good
Yeah.
face. Like, if you're a good face, they treat you well. If you're not a good face, they don't treat you well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they treated her very well from the very beginning, and that's what.
That's amazing.
And as a camera company, as a consumer as well, and you're spending like what? It's not even small amounts, man. It's like 3-4 lakhs on a camera.
Yeah. It's a big amount of money. It's a
Yeah.
large amount of money. And yeah, Abhishek, it's exactly like test driving a car before buying it, for sure. Makes sense. It costs as much as the car, so why not test drive it?
Sorry. Yeah. I think we're getting to the
Any
end
other
of
questions?
the live
No,
session.
we still have like 10 minutes. We still have more 10 more minutes. Hi, Tintin. Any more questions, guys, in terms of anything? You can ask us anything you want. Um,
And how much we spoke about
yeah,
Sony.
oh,
I think we
man.
should stop like claiming that we're going to talk about something because we never end up in that direction.
Just keep it
Episode 7. What are we talking about?
open.
Cameras. But next week, coming Friday, I think we've got an interesting guest coming on, a very popular photographer. So
Yeah,
we'll try and
we'll put out details soon.
yeah, so that hopefully people
I'm
can come
excited.
in.
I'm excited. So we'll go to a couple of hints, but she was basically one of the people that I used to look up to when I started off photography. And she used to shoot for the same magazine that my mentor used to shoot, Joy Datta used to shoot at that time, Verve magazine. And basically, their pictures used to be back and back, the spreads. And I used to always be like, I love her work, man. That's amazing. I love the way she used colors and, whatever. I mean, her work is phenomenal. So, and
Yeah, so
I've seen her for the last like 12 years. So, I'm
and
excited.
she's a
I'm excited to
super
talk to her.
humble person as well.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, I should look up to her work. Like, I still do. I think not used to. I
Yeah,
still do.
yeah.
Like, but I think a lot of the work that she put out as well was so weird. Like, I'd had these ideas of what I wanted to shoot, and there'd be like 1 or 2 photographers in the country that would kind of like do the same things. And
Doing that
being
kind
out
of
of
exactly.
And
Yeah,
I had one
yeah.
photographer in Bombay who was matching on the same wavelength, and there was one photographer in Delhi. So, and being in Bangalore at that point, I didn't have the resources. Like there were no models at that point, right? Up until I think 2014, there were no big agencies in Bangalore as well.
Really, wow.
Modeling agencies. Yeah. So like the resources coming from there, like it became a lot harder to be a photographer from Bangalore in the Indian market. Like if you were in Bombay or Delhi, you'd get like a lot more recognition, a lot easier.
Yeah,
But yeah. Like when I came out here, even though I'd shot like massive campaigns for the first time in 2008 or 10, no, 10, yeah, nobody knew me. Nobody knew any of my work, and it was like, they just like discounted me, like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
wow. No.
Yeah. But I mean, she's brilliant. Like, I was so happy. Like, I'm really glad of the kind of talent that we're getting, being able to bring on the channel as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are just really good. Not big names. They're not very popular. I mean, not just popular names, but these are good photographers. They're photographers I've looked up to, and not just
like the Fuji brand ambassadors. But yeah,
Oh, shots
I
fired.
mean, technically, even Anushka is an ambassador. So the
I,
good ambassadors we're getting on our channel. Let's just say that
yeah,
the talented ambassadors.
yeah. So basically, you've already set it out. So Anushka is a guest, Anushka Menon, who's like a brilliant photographer. Thanks, G.
Yes.
There goes all the mystery. But I think the next session will have to be on YouTube because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
three of us on there, and
yeah.
we
And
end
it's
up
going to
showing a lot
be,
of her work.
yeah. So people who are watching this, um, I'm going to type out our YouTube channel name. Look for ISO Nation on YouTube, and you see our faces and subscribe. And Friday, I think in the second half of the day, I'm not sure what the time we're setting, but yeah, around the same
Yeah,
time, we'll be doing a session with her. And
and
I mean, the
she's
best part about
brilliant.
these live sessions is, guys, she's amazing. And that's the thing. I know Anushka. I've spoken to her, and we've obviously spoken in the past. But I am excited to learn a lot of stuff from her and about her and her story. Because there's a limit to what you talk about on Instagram or
What you put
the
out there.
short. Yeah, when you just bump into each other at like a launch or like a party, there's a limit to what you can talk about. But here, if it's pure photography and her journey, I'm really excited. I'm
Yeah,
very keen to know
I
about the
think it's
story.
interesting to we'll try and like get some like particular pictures that she really likes and try and
Yeah, yeah,
explain them and stuff like that. But uh,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, this is I think it's really interesting to kind of see what we talk about there, and like I'm really excited about the next couple of guests also we're trying to get on
yeah.
to kind of this have this like weekly chat. I don't know if it's going to be weekly for a very long time. Our work is starting again.
It's okay. There's no pressure. I mean,
Let
though a lot of
let's
people,
talk
though a lot of
about
people, yeah.
PPE. Okay, I think we have to talk
Oh yeah,
about this.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's I'm sorry, but these full body suits they're not making sense to me.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I had a vendor of lights who told me basically said, hey, you know what? The lighting boys come from different places and they can't carry their own things, and we have to
Hmm,
provide these PPEs for them.
hmm,
I mean, the producer
hmm.
provided for them. I mean, I get that. I'm like,
Yeah,
if you have a set of 60, 70 people, right?
yeah,
At least if you have 20 people who can use reusable PPEs, that's the body
correct.
suits, why not? Like
Hmm,
as a photographer right now, if you are looking at working, you should be investing in your own PPE suit that you bring back and you wash.
hmm.
Like the same way you carry a bottle that you can kind of
Yeah, yeah,
like a reusable bottle. Like people said, it's not possible. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
oh, it's
yeah,
not possible. Clients are not going to
yeah,
agree. Most production
yeah.
right now have a reusable bottle option.
Not most. The I would say 99.9% of the last 2 years have been labeled glass bottles
Yeah.
with your name on it, and that's the way to go. Like, so the funny thing was, since the last 5 years, I I've invested in glass bottles, and whenever there wasn't like a production team in house, and it was a smaller shoot where I was handling production, I would carry 40 to 50 bottles, glass bottles, filled up
Mm.
from my aquaguard at home to shoots, and people were like, "What are you doing?" I got a lot of funny like faces and clients being like, "What's happening?" But
Or your battery is
eventually, most of
charged.
them, yeah. Why? Can
No,
you not
because
hear me?
no. I'm saying because if I was going to a shoot, the biggest thing that stresses me out is everything charged, and
The
am I carrying
batteries.
enough things?
No, no, no,
So if
no,
you're filling bottles of
no.
water, are your batteries charged? That's my
Exactly.
question.
No, no. All so that's the thing. It was part of my list, and I had to carry a carton which would take care and make sure that those bottles wouldn't break in transit.
Break, huh?
But that's what I've done. I've done that,
That's
and
amazing, man.
now I'm glad that people are doing it. And yeah, the whole thing, the PPE suit as well. Sitanshu is like mad chub because we had a bit of a discussion about this. But so Taras, he refused the job because he also commented on your post that I reposted,
Huh.
and Taras said he refused a job because they forced him to wear a PPE suit
That's good,
because he
man.
was
Like it's
yeah
it's
he's like
it's it's so wasteful. I
yeah
mean,
yeah
see, again, we are talking about the virus, and I completely get that, and I get that this is
yeah
really serious, and I get that we're
yeah
going into work at this scenario, but it's not so like the can only get into your body through your nose and through your mouth. If you're wearing a mask, you're
exactly
wearing a face shield, you're protected. Okay,
exactly.
you can go home, you can have a shower, you can get it out. I get that. I get that some people cannot do that, but we don't have to have it for everybody. You don't have to have it. And I know
Right.
that clients are like, hey,
Sure.
you know what? We're not going to go on a set if it's not thing. And
And you know what? Another thing is, so I haven't shot in a PPE suit yet. A couple of friends have, and they've both told me that it's the worst experience of their lives to firstly, again, we're in the Bombay summer heat. No matter how much you shoot in the AC and stuff like that, you are going to sweat. Secondly, if you need to go use the washroom, and we don't have like 3 to 4 hour shoots, we have eight
I
hours to
didn't
12
think about
hours.
that.
If you need to go to the washroom, you need to eat something, you need to drink water, you need to unzip the PPE suit. And the moment you unzip it, you're letting viruses in. So then what's the use of that? Unless you're completely zipped up, taped in, like the nurses and doctors, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, think about it. Like whoever's going to the bathroom is kind of sharing some more of those things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't see how effective it is. I like honestly, I like even by looking at these, everybody like overdoing it with the sanitizer. It gives me
Yeah.
stress because like I remember reading about like drug resistant bacteria that kind of develop over like using sanitizers and stuff like that. Like I don't know how
Correct.
true that is. I don't know how much I think it is, but just think about it, man. Like
Yeah.
because of the antibiotics that we've been putting into our body, you have viruses that have gotten that have adapted.
True.
We're creating a whole new problem with this thing, and it's not just the plastics, right? I mean, it's just this shit show is getting worse on a
Yeah.
level that we're going to see in a couple of years. People's
True.
immunities are dropping. Everyone's sitting at home. Nobody's getting any sun. And these
True.
PPEs, with like a friend of mine who was just shooting a few days ago, she ended up getting a fever in a PPE suit
Wow. Wow. Wow.
because your body's natural response is if it stays at a normal temperature, if it can't cool down, then it's like okay, there's something wrong, and it enacts
It's
its whole fever response. And
it's
like
not
she's
a
telling
joke.
me,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, she's telling me that you know what, my body's hurting, my head is hurting. I'm like, yeah, you just went through a fever, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
That's bad.
I don't see the value. I see the value for people. They're looking at it and being a little bit more. They're feeling safer by looking at it, but I don't see the value. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I get that celebrities are wearing on thing and they feel better because they're not wearing any of the suits, right? At the end of it, because they're in front of the camera. Everybody
No,
else is wearing the
and
suit.
for sure, the models and the actors are the most vulnerable in this situation.
Yeah.
So I get that, and for their peace of mind or their safety, maybe take the precautions. But again, as long as I feel like a mask, a face shield, and at the most, if you really want to go overboard, then gloves. But that's about it. Like as long as you're not touching your face, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, if you have like a shield on, I don't think you're touching your face, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, like they estimated, I think, what 140 million already have corona in India.
Correct.
That I mean, if you look at the non-tested people, right? So that's already 10% of the country that's already had corona at some point, and this is only going to get like more people are going to get it, more people are going to recover from it. I think we're getting a lot of vaccines that are going to come over the next couple of months as well. But it's so wasteful right now. Like there was people are telling me that like the dustbins full, like your big dustbins that are full of just PPE suits.
Not cool, man. Not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, I mean I empathize with producers trying to get the job done and stuff like that, but it's just there needs to be a better way to make somebody feel safe. Use smaller teams. You don't have to use such big teams.
True.
Okay, if you want to feel safe, use a smaller team than you would normally use. Let that be the norm versus like kind of messing it up for everybody else in the
Okay.
future.
Sorry, we have like 15 seconds left. 30
Bye guys,
seconds.
see you on YouTube.
Okay, but yeah, log on to ISO Nation and please subscribe and we'll see you
Tell your
there.
friends.
We're just doing these Insta live sessions because it's just the both of us. But when we get more people on the call or on the interview, we need to use a system like that. So we'll see you there, guys. Logging off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.